Huawei is back with another foldable phone, and this time I think they did a better job. Hey, what's up guys? Abe Olandres here of Yugatech, and I'm here to give you my verdict of the new Huawei Mate XS2. But first, let's start this video with a quick unboxing of our review unit. There's a lot to cover here since we're talking about a relatively rare type of smartphone. Huawei has also done a number of iterations for a foldable phone, and I think they got it right this time, at least in terms of design and engineering. Let's go ahead and start with the camera. Everybody knows, and I think you guys will also agree with me when I say that Huawei makes the best, if not the bestest, camera phone these days. So I have high expectations with the camera on the XS2. This phone features a triple rear camera setup, a 50 megapixel main camera, a 13 megapixel wide-angle camera, and an 8 megapixel telephoto camera. On paper, that does not sound a lot and is pretty close to the setup of the P40. So I am hoping the optics would turn out better. It can shoot 4K videos at 30 FPS and slow motion clips of up to 960 frames per second at 1080p resolution. Check out some of the samples we got here. The front-facing camera is a 10.7 megapixel with a slight wide-angle lens. Second, we looked at the battery. For a phone this large, one would think it will have good battery life. At 4,600 mAh, it doesn't sound like enough, so we tested using our standard battery benchmark. With the phone folded in, we got 10 hours and 17 minutes on PCMark Battery 3.0. That goes down significantly once we did the second test with the display fully folded out. Just 7 hours and 18 minutes. That's probably the lowest rating of a battery life for a flagship quality phone we've reviewed in a very long while. Good thing there's fast charging at 66 watts, so you should be able to fully charge it back to 100% in less than an hour. Well, we sort of expected this considering the size of the display. Ultimately, the real-world battery life is highly dependent on how you use the phone. More specifically, how often you use the entire display. In terms of performance, the Mate XS2 is powered by a Snapdragon 888 with Adreno 660 GPU. It's not the latest chip from Qualcomm, and I wonder why they did not use the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 here. In any case, it still performed well. Phone is fast and responsive, and everything loads up snappy and worked well. Our synthetic benchmark shows a score of a little over 600,000 points in Antutu. Not really stellar, but still good. Having a large, foldable phone does not mean you have to unfold the entire screen every time you use the phone. The main folded display is more than enough for most of your usual needs in terms of screen real estate. That includes checking your emails, reading documents, watching movies, or playing games. However, when you want a bigger screen, simply fold out the entire display and you will get almost double the screen real estate. The aspect ratio is different, so there will be blank portions at the top and the bottom ends of the screen. But some games will be able to maximize the entire display. You get better advantage in Mobile Legends since you can see more of the entire map. Since the display folds out instead of inwards, the section that curves does not show any noticeable crease. You can feel it when you touch that part of the screen, but you can barely notice it at a reading distance. Of course, that also means the display is always prone to possible scratches as it is exposed. Unless, of course, you use the rubber case that came with it. But when you do, it also becomes cumbersome to remove the case each time you fold out the display. I wish there was a better way to address this. Perhaps a third-party case maker can do something about it. When folded, you get a 6.5-inch front display, which is already big. But when unfolded, you get a huge and immersive 7.8-inch OLED display with a 2480 by 2200 pixel screen resolution at 120Hz refresh rate. And this glass is thick and tough, not the older thin and flimsy feels like plastic foldable type of screen. It looks and feels like your typical glass display used in any other flagship phones. I also used the phone in writing half of this review, and I found it pleasing, typing away with both hands at ease. Love the keyboard layout as well, especially the additional column of repeated letters in the middle. With 8GB of RAM and 512GB of internal storage, you can save more files, photos, and videos in your phone. You can still upgrade that to 256GB with an NMSD card. For security, there's the side-mounted fingerprint sensor and facial recognition that actually works even if you have your face mask on. Wait, let me correct that. It will work if your eyes and nose are visible while your mask covers your mouth. One thing that got me a bit confused here is that there's no 5G support. The dual SIM card only runs on 4G, which is a bit of disappointment since all the rest are present: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, and GPS. Perhaps the biggest question a lot of you have been wondering is, how about the apps? Well, how should I put this? If you are heavily dependent on GMS, you will certainly look for the familiar apps like Gmaps, YouTube, and Gmail. The Mate XS2 runs on Harmony OS 2 and HMN. Huawei tried its darnest to give you the alternatives like App Gallery, Petal Search, and Petal Maps to lessen the blow. But if you really want Google, you can install GSPACE from the Apps Gallery and get to use all the usual Google apps. It works like the old second space feature on Huawei phones. The only drawback here is that notifications are, well, a bit delayed. The Mate XS2 is a beautiful phone. The foldable mode is nicely executed, with both the folded and unfolded modes being equally usable and practical. To its defense though, I found other uses for the case that made some sense, like using it as a support stand for the phone when you want to place it down a table or a flat surface. As much as I'd tried to skip the obvious, I might just go straight ahead and dive right in. The only reason you would buy this particular phone is because of the foldable display. Period. If you want better performance and camera quality, there's the Huawei P50 Pro for that. If you want longer battery life, 5G connectivity, or Google services, look somewhere else. The Mate XS2 is a really niche phone. Huge display, excellent build quality, and an eye candy. Would I use it? Yes. Is it worth it after all the shortcomings? Nah, not really. Nevertheless, props to Huawei for building a beautifully designed and solidly engineered foldable phone. What do you guys think? Do you like the Mate XS2 as well? Do let us know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button if you like this video and consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be updated of our future videos. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and TikTok. And visit yugatech.com to be updated with your daily dose of tech news and reviews. Once again, this is Abe, and I will see you in the next one.